Okay, so last time on How I Wrote It, I talked about Wonderful and One of These Days. The second, no, third and fourth tracks on my album with regards from Far Away. This series is just for those of you who haven't been keeping up. It's just a look into every single song on my album, just to give you some insight into as to how I wrote the songs and why I wrote the songs and why I put them in the order that I did. So check out the other videos. But on to If Your Eyes Were an Ocean. So this song is supposed to be the song in the story, in the entirety of the album. This is the part of the relationship where both characters are in love and they've settled into this thing that they both share and cherish. Musically, it kind of sounds like that, or at least I tried to make it sound like that. The tempo is really relaxed. The instrumentation is super sparse. Anyway, uh, so there aren't a whole lot of instruments, just because I felt like I didn't want it to feel crowded, and I didn't want it to feel super fast, because at this point in a relationship, from personal experience and from the experiences of others that I've heard, to feel in love and to feel comfortable in a relationship, it means that things aren't moving as quickly, because that phase is over. You guys have gotten all the excitement out of the way, which isn't to say that there isn't any more excitement in the relationship, but at this point, at least in terms of the story of the album, the narrator, the character speaking, is happy with the way things are going, and so the lyrics reflect that. So in terms of the music, aside from how few instruments are in the song, or in the recording, I guess, in the production, I also tried to include Spanish sounding guitars. I had this melody in my head that I wanted to use for the vocals, but I thought that it'd be a cool intro motif too for two acoustic guitars. So what I did is I recorded two acoustic guitar parts that were octaves apart from each other, which meant that they were playing the same notes, but they were in different, one was higher and one was lower in terms of the range of the instrument and the musical range of the key and stuff. Sometimes I don't know what I'm actually saying when I start spitting out musical jargon, like music theory stuff. So I hope that those of you who understand will call me out on the stuff that I'm wrong about, and those of you who don't understand, look it up and make sure that I'm giving you the correct information. Anyway, so yeah, the guitars are Spanish-ish sounding, and the lyrics, at least in the verses, are mostly comprised of metaphors. I took this idea from poetry that I would read like in high school, and poetry that I ended up reading in college, and especially the older stuff. Not even just poetry, but lyrics. Older styles of music were very romantic in images, so they would paint images of roses or flowers or sunsets or stuff like that, like in simple terms. Like off the top of my head, I can't think of any examples, unfortunately. But so in If Your Eyes Were an Ocean, the verses, even the title, is a metaphor for how the narrator, the speaker, sees the person that they are in a relationship with, and the parts about them that stand out and are beautiful. So what makes up most of the song is this calm feeling, this... Okay, you're going to cut from here to the part where I actually get my shit together. Okay, you got it. So if I had to describe what this song... Like, if I had to describe the feeling that this song brought me, at least when I wrote it and when I listen to it now, is I tried to write a song that sounded like floating over waves on a raft, just relaxing at the beach or in a pool or something. Because I feel like that's what being comfortable in a relationship feels like. It's it's sort of like floating. It's peaceful, and it doesn't require a whole lot of effort. I mean, relationships require effort. I'm not saying that they don't, but in a healthy relationship, one that works, I think the effort that you put into it is meaningful and worthwhile. And so, in the same sense that when people say if you find a job you love, you won't work a day in your life, kind of like that. Someone's home. I'm doing a YouTube vlog thing down here. I'm not just talking to myself. Okay. I'm back. So then after the second verse and the second chorus and everything comes the guitar break. And it's the same line that the two guitars in the intro played. But then that transitions into a guitar solo. And the two guitars are still playing octaves with each other. And so that represents, hypothetically, two people in a relationship that are comfortable and are playing off one another really well, almost in harmony, harmoniously. So yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff, a lot of simple stuff. It's a simple song, I think, in both its theme, like its message, and musically and stuff like that. It's supposed to sound easygoing and calm, and so I hope that's how it comes across. With the ending of the song, it plays the chords from the end of the chorus, the walk down the ba 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 ba, like that thing, where it ends on a minor chord. And at the end of If Your Eyes Were an Ocean, I play those chords over and over again. And without getting into too much detail about next week's song, Don't Bother, the end of If Your Eyes Were an Ocean is supposed to represent like going through the motions in a romantic relationship over and over until it feels tedious almost. So I tried to play it like one extra time, more than I initially planned. So all that is just to say that this is the end of the video, and I couldn't come up with a better way to end this other than talking about the ending of If Your Eyes Were an Ocean. So next week we're going to be talking about Don't Bother. Go and listen to the album. It's on CD Baby. You can buy it for $5. Download it for yourself, listen to it, or you can go to Spotify. It's on iTunes if you want to buy individual songs. You can go to YouTube. Did I say YouTube? I don't know if I said YouTube, but all of the songs are on YouTube. Not here, but if you were to type in, like Nick and then the title of the video. I'm losing traction. It was I had a long day at work yesterday, so my brain isn't all there, and I've been playing the new Spider-Man game on PS4 for too long. So I'm not really as on my feet as I think I am usually. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope this was informative, and I hope you listen to the album. Remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned this week for another cover on Wednesday, and then next week we're going to talk about Don't Bother from the album. So until then, see you guys later.